this, many inventions or discoveries being born, especially technological inventions that improve human life. There are past inventions that changed all of humanity, yet there are also inventions forever buried in the past along with their creators. Why were these technological inventions banned? Why did their creators also vanish in silence? Let's explore what technologies have been banned from invention right now. 1. Hemp car. In the 1940s, amid World War II and the rising industrial era, Henry Ford embarked on a unique project quite distant from the conventional automotive standards of the time. Renowned for his innovative spirit and the revolutionary assembly line of the Model T, Ford this time turned his attention to another aspect: environmental sustainability, something few considered back then. Ford envisioned a car not only powered by biomass fuel but also constructed from biomass, with hemp as the primary material. His idea, called the Ford 420, was about a completely new car made from grass. People even joked about how police could arrest you for drug possession when your car was entirely made from drugs. Although this was a pioneering initiative, it quickly faded into obscurity, overshadowed by the powerful expansion of the petroleum industry as it rapidly extended its influence worldwide. In fact, Ford's interest in renewable resources and sustainable materials was not entirely surprising. He long believed that agriculture and industry could combine and that farms could provide crucial raw materials for manufacturing. The car made from hemp was proof of this belief, demonstrating Ford's commitment to seeking alternative materials and fuels. This invention was not just a technological breakthrough but also an expression of a far-sighted vision for a more sustainable future. The body of this car was made from composite material, a synthetic blend, with hemp fibers as the main component. When combined with other plant fibers, it created a product that was lightweight, durable, and completely biodegradable. This material was not only environmentally friendly but also had tensile strength 10 times greater than steel, offering significant safety benefits alongside outstanding ecological advantages. Furthermore, this car, often called the hemp car, was designed to run on biofuel also made from hemp, derived from the seeds of the cannabis plant. This choice reflected Ford's foresight of a future where cars no longer depended on non-renewable energy sources. Hemp biofuel offered a sustainable alternative, burning cleaner than gasoline, promising reduced harmful emissions and greater energy independence. When the hemp car was unveiled to the public in 1941, it created a spectacle that attracted much attention. Ford even demonstrated the body's impact resistance by hitting it with an axe, and the material remained intact without damage, proving its superior durability. Despite many innovative features and clear environmental benefits, the project did not progress beyond its initial debut. The reasons for this are quite complex, but one key factor was the interests of the petroleum industry at the time. In the early 20th century, the oil industry was booming, and petroleum became the lifeblood of the global economy. In that context, transitioning to alternative energy sources as Ford proposed faced many obstacles to acceptance and implementation. The economic and political influence of the petroleum industry, along with its crucial strategic role, sidelined initiatives like the hemp car. Additionally, the legal and cultural landscape of the time was not favorable. Hemp cultivation faced increasing restrictions due to its association with psychoactive cannabis strains, making the project more difficult. These factors, combined with the outbreak of World War II and shifting industrial priorities post-war, led to the hemp car project being forgotten. Despite its great potential, it could not overcome the economic and social barriers of that era. Radiant energy device. In the 1930s, as the world witnessed scientific breakthroughs and the birth of modern physics, an inventor named T. Henry Morey introduced a device he claimed could harness the infinite energy of the universe. This device, which Morey called radiant energy, was said to be capable of collecting invisible cosmic forces, thereby generating an unlimited energy source, potentially revolutionizing how humanity produces and uses energy. However, despite the promising idea, Moray's invention faced much skepticism, discredit, and even sabotage, creating a controversial chapter in the history of alternative energy research. Moray was deeply influenced by the work of Nikola Tesla and other scientists who delved into the realms of electronics and radiation. Building on this inspiration, Moray hypothesized that the space around us is filled with a form of energy that, if properly harnessed, could provide an endless power supply. Moray began developing his device in the early 1920s, aiming to convert cosmic energy into electrical energy. His device consisted of a complex arrangement of semiconductors, capacitors, and various other electrical components. The unique aspect of Moray's invention was a special valve, a type of semiconductor material he believed could absorb radiant energy from the surroundings and convert it into high voltage. According to Moray, this process fully complied with the laws of thermodynamics, as the device merely converted existing energy from one form to another. He demonstrated his device multiple times, and it was said to power lights, radios, and motors in front of witnesses, without any apparent external power source. However, despite the visual evidence, the scientific community remained skeptical. Critics argued that the device's operation and the theory behind it were not fully, clearly explained and could not be independently verified or replicated. Moray's refusal to disclose full details of his invention, citing concerns over intellectual property and the risk of misuse, also fueled further suspicion. The situation became more complicated when Moray claimed he was threatened by powerful interest groups who feared his invention could cause major disruption to the existing energy industry. He also revealed that his laboratory was searched and equipment destroyed in an effort to hinder his research work. These factors make the story of Moray's invention highly controversial and mysterious. Despite the passage of time, Moray persistently improved the device and always believed in its immense potential. However, he never received sufficient support to realize his invention. After Moray's death, his invention gradually faded into obscurity, becoming an interesting but little-known detail in the history of alternative energy research. Instead of becoming the revolutionary breakthrough he once dreamed of, Moray's story leaves much regret about what might have happened if he had had a bit more luck and support. Perpetual motion. Vito Stolberter, a dedicated forester, passionate naturalist, and Austrian inventor, devoted his entire life to exploring the wonders of water flow and natural energy. Born in 1885, from his earliest observations of nature, Stolberter developed unique theories and inventions, leading many to associate them with the concept of perpetual motion, a principle suggesting it is possible to create a machine or system that operates forever without external energy input. However, it is important to understand that Stolberter himself never claimed to have created such a machine. What he truly focused on was understanding and harnessing the natural power of the Earth, particularly the water vortices he believed could be exploited for great benefit. Stolberter's approach stemmed from a love and meticulous observation of nature. He believed that modern technology and engineering had forgotten the harmonious principles bestowed by nature, and that by learning from these principles, we could create energy without harming the environment. Understand nature, then copy nature. Implosion. Completely opposite to modern technologies based on explosions like internal combustion engines, one of his most important contributions was the study of vortex dynamics, opening a new perspective on how humans could harmonize with nature to create sustainable energy. One of his notable inventions was the ribosyn, a machine shaped like a flying saucer. designed to generate propulsion by creating vortices in air or water. This device attracted much attention, even leading to speculation that Stolberger might have discovered the secret of perpetual motion and free energy. This interest came not only from technology enthusiasts but also from the Nazi regime during World War II, when he was forced to develop his inventions for military purposes. These experiences left Stolberger disillusioned. He feared that his discoveries could be misused. After the war, Stolberger continued to research and develop his ideas. But unfortunately, they never achieved the recognition or commercial success he hoped for. His work became even more complicated when American intelligence detained him for 9 months, confiscating all documents and prototypes. During that time, he was interrogated about his inventions and his role during the war. This incident raised many suspicions that Stolberger's inventions in harnessing natural energy might harbor astonishing capabilities, to the extent that they were considered a threat to established interests. There is even speculation that the US government may have decided to suppress these discoveries. Coral Castle. Coral Castle, also known as Shanho Castle, located in Homestead, Florida, is one of the most mysterious architectural wonders of the 20th century. It was built entirely by Edward Leeds Scullman from 1923 to 1951. The structure consists of massive limestone blocks weighing a total of about 1,100 tons. Even though more than half a century has passed, the technology and techniques Leeds Scullman used continue to spark much debate and curiosity, with theories ranging from ancient science to unknown forms of energy. Edward Leeds Scullman's life began with profound pain. When his 16-year-old fiancée rejected him in Latvia. After this final shock, Leeds Scullman left his homeland and came to the United States, where he was diagnosed with terminal tuberculosis. Miraculously, he claimed to have cured himself of the disease with 500. And this was precisely the initial motivation for building Coral Castle with all its mysteries. Leeds Scullman began constructing what he called the Rock Gate Park to commemorate his lost love. Although only about 1.5 meters tall and weighing 45 kilograms, he worked alone, mainly at night to avoid observation by others. He claimed to have discovered the secret of the pyramids, enabling him to move and craft massive stone blocks. The stones Leeds Scullman used were enormous, weighing up to 30 tons each. Local youths who witnessed him working at night reported that the stones seemed to move on their own, as if guided by a supernatural force. This led to many theories that Leeds Scullman might have used ancient technology or lost knowledge to accomplish this. Although Leeds Scullman kept his methods secret, he also left some clues. He hinted that he understood the principles of weight and leverage, and period photographs show him using wooden tripods. However, these tools seemed insufficient to explain the entire process, leading to the hypothesis that Leeds Scullman might have mastered principles of magnetism, using this knowledge to lift and move the massive stones. A popular theory about how Edward Leeds Scullman built Coral Castle involves the use of electromagnetic energy or the Earth's magnetic field. Leeds Scullman published several pamphlets on electromagnetism, showing his deep interest in harnessing magnetic forces for this construction. He believed that all matter consists of tiny magnets, and tapping into this inherent magnetism could achieve seemingly impossible feats. Some speculate that if you could reverse magnetic force with some kind of electromagnetic wave, such as frequency, the huge stones would become lighter and easier to move. Another theory suggests that Leeds Scullman might have used acoustic levitation, using sound waves to lift and move the stone blocks. Some researchers believe that Leeds Scullman might have tuned the resonant frequency of the stones to make them easier to move. This hypothesis is supported by ancient legends and modern experiments proving that sound can manipulate objects. However, there is no concrete evidence to prove that Leeds Scullman actually built Coral Castle. The mystery surrounding Leeds Scullman's methods, combined with the lack of clear eyewitnesses to the construction, only makes the story of Coral Castle more fascinating. Today, Coral Castle is not only a museum but also a tourist attraction, with visitors from all over the world coming to explore its history and mysteries. The technology behind Coral Castle remains one of the great unsolved mysteries of the modern world. What is Strat? The search for winged landing (VTOL) systems has led to many interesting experimental designs. And one of the most notable designs is the Keelam Strat, developed by Keelam International, a company renowned for its fan jet engine technology. Strat stands out as a breakthrough VTOL system, also known as the Keelam-Ross Aerial System Platform. This compact aircraft uses fan jet engines and represents a perfect blend of simplicity and advanced technology. It is designed to carry a single operator, who can control the aircraft by leaning in the desired direction of movement and adjusting power. This intuitive control mechanism, combined with Strat's excellent agility, allows it to move in any direction, accelerate quickly, hover, and spin on its axis. The aircraft can fly continuously for about 45 minutes, reaching speeds of up to 60 miles per hour, making it a unique and impressive personal vehicle. Although Strat's design and capabilities are impressive, its journey has not been without difficulties. In the 1980s, the U.S. military considered Strat as part of its plan to research new VTOL technologies. The military's interest in such systems was driven by their potential to enhance mobility and flexibility on the battlefield, which conventional helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft could not provide. Strat indeed was an attractive option for individual soldier mobility. However, after careful consideration, the U.S. military found that, although Strat was highly innovative, it could not match helicopters and small unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, in terms of performance. The main reasons were Strat's limited operational range and payload capacity compared to helicopters. Meanwhile, compact UAVs were advancing rapidly and offered high flexibility without endangering pilots' lives. Additionally, operating Strat was quite complex and required extensive training to use safely. This posed significant challenges in integrating it into military operations. Although this technology was not completely abandoned and still has potential to improve daily life, its high cost and difficulty in flying have prevented its widespread adoption. Nevertheless, the exploration of VTOL technology continues to evolve. New designs and ideas are still emerging. Based on the foundation of projects like Quilliam X Strat, new opportunities for future transportation technology are opened up. Cloudbuster. When it comes to the orgone accumulator, the orgone energy of Wilhelm Reich, you may have heard of this device as a healing tool based on orgone energy. However, Reich did not stop there. His passion for orgone energy led him to believe it could be used for many other purposes, including weather control. According to Reich's theory, orgone energy is present throughout the atmosphere and can be concentrated to dissolve clouds, thereby creating rain. In the 1950s, Reich developed a device called the Cloudbuster to realize this theory. The Cloudbuster consists of a series of hollow tubes connected to underground cables in water. Reich believed this device could draw orgone energy from the air and adjust it to disperse clouds or even create new clouds to induce rain. Reich conducted many experiments with the Cloudbuster and claimed success in creating rain at various locations. One of the most famous experiments was at a farm in Maine, where he is said to have helped alleviate drought and save the harvest. These results attracted attention but were not always positively received. Many critics argue that Reich's claims lacked solid scientific basis and were not reproducible. Meanwhile, supporters believed the Cloudbuster could be a solution to drought and other weather challenges. Reich and his Cloudbuster project faced numerous legal difficulties and government interference. This reflects the larger controversy surrounding his research on orgone energy. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, decided to investigate the activities of Wilhelm Reich. particularly his claims about the health benefits of orgone energy and the use of the orgone accumulator, a tool designed to concentrate and harness orgone energy for therapeutic purposes. FDA oversight did not stop at the orgone accumulator but extended to the cloudbuster, as part of a larger campaign to halt Reich's research. In 1956, after a series of legal battles, Reich was sentenced to prison for contempt of court. The reason was his refusal to comply with an order banning the distribution of materials related to orgone. Thus, the controversy over the cloudbuster is not just about a device but is tied to serious legal actions against Reich. The climax of this conflict was when the FDA destroyed his orgone-related publications and materials. This action is viewed by some as a dark chapter in the history of scientific censorship, where new and innovative ideas were suppressed by official opposition. Original Electric, the story of the General Motors EV1, the first mass-produced electric car, is a clear example of how new technologies can be suppressed by industrial interests. Launched in the late 1990s, the EV1 was a major breakthrough in the electric car field, opening up prospects for a future free from dependence on fossil fuels. However, the EV1's journey ended abruptly, leaving many questions and controversies that continue to this day. Who killed the electric car? The EV1 was developed by General Motors as an initial effort to address growing concerns about air pollution, oil dependence, and the environmental impact of gasoline-powered vehicles. With 800 units leased, the EV1 quickly attracted interest from a group of users who loved new technology and environmental protection, and was highly praised for its efficiency and potential. However, just a few years after its introduction, General Motors decided to discontinue the EV1 in 1999. According to General Motors, the reason for discontinuing the EV1 was primarily economic, especially the limited range of the battery. They argued that the technology at the time could not meet consumer demands for range and convenience, making EV1 production and maintenance unprofitable. However, many did not believe this explanation, with some suggesting other factors behind this decision, particularly the influence of the oil industry. They argued that oil companies, with business models reliant on internal combustion engine vehicles, saw the emergence of electric cars like the EV1 as a serious threat to their profits and market position. From this perspective, pressure from powerful interests led General Motors not only to stop producing electric cars but also to take drastic measures to eliminate them entirely. Instead of allowing the remaining EV1s to be kept by enthusiastic users or preserving them as part of automotive history, General Motors decided to recall and crush every remaining EV1. This decision was carried out systematically to ensure that electric car technology could not develop beyond the initial testing phase. Many understood this as an effort to hinder the development of electric car technology, preventing it from challenging the current automotive market. Today, as electric cars become increasingly popular and widely accepted, the story of the EV1, with all its controversies and mysteries surrounding it further emphasizes that the path to innovation is often fraught with obstacles and uncertainties. Project XA. The story of Dr. Tran Nguyen and his non-carcinogenic cigarettes is truly a moving chapter in the history of the tobacco industry, resonating not only with smokers but also with those who have lost loved ones to the harms of tobacco. The long history of tobacco advertising and the industry's activities in concealing health risks have created a highly controversial narrative. For decades, tobacco companies orchestrated extensive advertising campaigns, not only promoting smoking as an attractive and socially acceptable habit, but also employing every means to downplay or outright deny the health risks associated with smoking. One of the most notorious tactics in these campaigns was the use of doctor imagery or fabricated medical endorsements, aimed at creating a misleading perception of cigarette safety. These advertisements targeted all demographics, from women and men to even adolescents, and exploited themes such as allure, masculinity, sophistication, and stress relief. However, starting in the 1950s, research began to reveal the true harm of tobacco to health. The journey of Dr. Tran D. Mott and his research project on non-carcinogenic cigarettes is a dramatic story in the history of the tobacco industry. In 1955, as tobacco companies were seeking every way to maintain social acceptance and alleviate health concerns, a scientist named Dr. Mott embarked on an ambitious research project with Liggett and Myers, a major tobacco company in North Carolina. Mott was tasked with identifying carcinogens in cigarette smoke and finding ways to reduce them. He and his team began research in the laboratory, leading to the birth of Project XA, a bold initiative aimed at developing safer cigarettes by removing or reducing harmful components. Project XA was considered a breakthrough compared to traditional tobacco products, with support from Liggett in collaboration with Agilito Jimenez. Mott poured his heart into developing a non-carcinogenic cigarette. After 25 years of research and testing, Mott introduced a new product called palladium cigarettes. This product used palladium and magenta trait to neutralize carcinogens in the smoke. Laboratory tests showed that palladium cigarettes reduced cancer rates in test animals, opening hope for a safer tobacco product. However, despite a promising start, Project X8 quickly encountered serious obstacles. Liggett's executives, after consulting with lawyers, decided to withdraw support for the project. They feared that announcing a safer cigarette could lead to a wave of lawsuits from consumers harmed by the company's traditional products. This legal concern froze the project and forced Mott to abandon his work spanning over 2 decades. Liggett demanded that Mott not publish his findings, keeping the public unaware of the potential for safer cigarettes, and allowing the health risks associated with traditional cigarettes to persist. Another reason palladium cigarettes never reached the market was that Liggett did not want to alienate industry giants like Philip Morris. Although the company recognized this product had clear commercial potential and could sell well, they were concerned about potential retaliation from other tobacco companies. The halting of Project XA after an investment of about $10 million highlights a deeply troubling chapter in tobacco research history. It is regrettable that, despite being fully aware of the health risks associated with our products, Liggett and other tobacco companies continued to sell carcinogenic cigarettes, the fuel-less power generator. Lester Henderson was a famous American inventor in the late 1920s, known for a sensational invention: a device purported to be capable of generating free energy. This device was called the Henderson generator, claiming to harness the Earth's magnetic field to produce electricity without any fuel. This could have been a major breakthrough, replacing traditional energy sources with an endless one. Henderson's generator was described as a self-running device, generating energy through a system of coils and capacitors without an external power source. And in the late 1920s, his demonstrations showed the device could power light bulbs and motors, leaving the public and potential investors feeling excited. However, this division did not last long. A powerful sabotage campaign was launched, with some people publicly demonstrating fake devices they claimed were Henderson's, aiming to prove his technology was ineffective. But this effort seemed only intended to discredit and undermine his work. Despite facing many difficulties, Henderson did not give up. By the end of 1960, he believed he had made a crucial breakthrough and prepared 2 models along with a detailed 56-page proposal to present to the U.S. Navy. However, his proposal was rejected. In April 1961, Henderson's son returned home and found his father had passed away. His death was officially recorded as suicide, but no thorough investigation was conducted, leading his family and many to suspect a dark conspiracy. There were rumors that Henderson had received a warning from a large corporation whose identity he refused to disclose, demanding he stop all work related to his generator. This further fueled suspicions that his invention might have seriously threatened the interests of major energy corporations. The story of Lester Henderson is not just a tale of a suppressed invention. but also a profound lesson in how power and greed can hinder innovation. Henderson, with his invention, a generator capable of producing energy without fuel, had truly created a breakthrough that could change how we approach energy. Accused of accepting $25,000 to halt his research, Henderson expressed concerns for his family's safety. This indicates the severity of the threats he faced. His sudden death and the suppression of his invention inevitably led to suspicions of hidden forces with strong economic motives. Stories of suppressed inventions like Henderson's are not only a great loss to society, but also a clear sign of the conflict between innovation and power. These stories emphasize the need to question and seek the hidden truth. At the same time, they encourage us to support a world where innovation is welcomed and encouraged, not solely for economic or political reasons. In the world to this day, there are still many research works and technological devices buried in the past, not allowed to be mentioned, even suppressed to disappear forever. The reasons are many, but if these inventions were licensed and put into use, do you think they could change the entire human civilization?